Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-boggling financial illusions in recent history. We're talking about Christopher Delgado. This guy literally weaponized stolen money to build a $250 million mirage right in front of everyone's eyes. We're going to break down exactly how he did it, mostly by buying proximity, perception, and, well, spending a whole lot of other people's money.
To really wrap your head around the scale of this, you got to look at where he started. For almost 10 years, Delgado was just a regular guy working at In-N-Out Burger. And then, practically overnight, he transforms into this purported crypto billionaire. He's flying private, living in absolute unimaginable luxury. It looked like the ultimate rags to riches story. Or, at least it appeared that way.
But the reality behind all that explosive wealth? $250 million. And the wild part is, that is just a conservative estimate of what he stole from over 1,000 investors. He didn't earn this money, he took it. Some sources indicate his firm, Goliath Ventures, actually raked in somewhere between $328 and $400 million in total. Now, let's look at the mechanics here. Delgado wasn't some crypto prodigy. He was running a classic Ponzi scheme, a fraud where you pay your existing investors using funds from new investors, instead of actual profits. He promised these incredible, steady returns. We're talking 3 to 8% every single month, supposedly from crypto liquidity pools. But yeah, that was entirely a lie. Out of the hundreds of millions that flooded into Goliath Ventures, one source indicates that a microscopic fraction, maybe as little as $1 million, ever actually touched a real crypto platform. The rest of that massive pie, it went straight into paying fake returns to keep early investors quiet. And, of course, funding Delgado's wildly lavish lifestyle.
Part 1. Purchasing proximity to power.
So how did he convince so many people to hand over their life savings without ever making a single cold call? Well, he didn't use typical boiler room tactics. He did something way more sophisticated. He systematically used investor money to purchase political legitimacy. We're talking $25,000 to the Republican Party of Florida, over $23,000 to the National Republican Congressional Committee, and thousands more to a Donald Trump fundraising operation. He even threw $111,000 in personal loans at his own local political campaign for the Orange County Board of Commissioners. He was literally buying his way into the rooms where powerful people make decisions.
And he wasn't making these donations out of a sense of civic duty, right? He was buying marketing materials. Those political contributions got him immediate VIP photo ops with incredibly powerful, recognizable people. Photos at the White House with FBI Director Kash Patel, shots appearing to show him with former President Donald Trump, events with prominent Orlando figures like Jackie Siegel. Put yourself in the shoes of a prospective investor. Seeing those photos creates an undeniable, bulletproof aura of credibility. You'd think, well, if these people trust him, he absolutely must be legit.
Part 2. Philanthropy as a shield.
But he didn't just stop at national or state-level political access. He bought the blind trust of his local community through some highly publicized philanthropy. He pledged $2 million to Angel Army, a drug abuse prevention charity, and secured a spot as a major donor for the Orlando Economic Partnership. Suddenly, Goliath Ventures is listed right alongside massive, trusted institutions like Disney Parks and the University of Central Florida. He's hosting lavish Casino Royale-style galas at the Fontenay in Miami, bringing in performers like Jason Derulo. By throwing millions at charities and civic groups, he basically built a shield against suspicion. Because really, who investigates the guy pouring millions into saving the community?
Part 3. The ignored whistleblower.
This facade of political connections and local charity was so overwhelming, it blinded almost everyone. But starting in September 2025, one investigative journalist all the way out in New Zealand, Danny DeHeck, spent 5 whole months sounding the alarm. It's kind of crazy that someone on the exact opposite side of the planet saw what local authorities completely missed. DeHeck noticed similarities with a previous collapsed crypto scheme and started calling out Goliath as a Ponzi scheme. He even directly emailed a warning to the CEO and 37 staff members of that Orlando business group Delgado had bought his way into. Their response? Crickets. Just complete silence from the community, followed by a massive retaliatory defamation lawsuit from Goliath Ventures. DeHeck was basically shouting into a void because Delgado's purchase legitimacy was just too strong.
Part 4. The House of Cards collapses.
Of course, that bought and paid for immunity couldn't last forever. While the public was distracted by the charities and the photo ops, financial institutions behind the scenes were starting to wake up. To keep the illusion going, Delgado played this frantic game of bank hopping across at least 30 different accounts. He moved a staggering $253 million through JP Morgan Chase alone. When banks noticed the highly suspicious activity and shut his accounts down, he just jumped to the next one, moving to Bank of America, and finally Luminate Bank, right as federal investigators closed in and investors started reporting blocked withdrawals.
The whole thing finally came crashing down in February 2026 when federal authorities arrested him. And man, the hoard of luxury goods they seized is just sickening. This forfeiture list is a literal monument to greed. 4 Florida homes, including one valued at up to $8.5 million. A fleet of cars, a Lamborghini, 2 Rolls-Royces, a Bentley, a Ferrari. Around 30 luxury watches, over 50 luxury bags, and dozens of pieces of high-end jewelry. Every single bit of it funded directly by his victims. And for the more than 1,000 investors he left behind, the reality of Goliath's bankruptcy is grim. The gap between what's left and what's owed is devastating. When Goliath filed for bankruptcy, they listed only $1 to $10 million in actual assets, compared to an estimated $100 to $500 million in liabilities. That money is mostly just gone, evaporated into private jets, casino parties, and political donations.
The legal conclusion here came pretty swiftly. In July 2026, Christopher Delgado pleaded guilty to conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. He's currently awaiting his sentencing hearing, which is set for October 8, 2026, and he is facing maximums that could easily put him away for decades.
Which brings us to a final, really unsettling thought for this explainer. Delgado didn't hack a computer system. He hacked human perception. If a fast food worker can manufacture a $250 million empire just by using stolen money to buy proximity to power, charities, and politicians, well, how many other seemingly legitimate, trusted empires out there right now are nothing more than a well-funded illusion? Definitely something to think about next time you see a flashy VIP photo op.